Welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show, hosted by Mason Kern. He keeps his nose to the ground to report on what's trending in professional and college sports, to inform, enlighten, and entertain. And now it's
the Sports Watchdog.
The Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. As always, I'm your host Mason Kern, joining you every Sunday, and got some really great stuff for you this episode. You're really not going to want to miss the interview portion of this show because we got a really special segment for you. As always, we're going to have sports hot topics as well and our happenings on the Hardwood. But this show is going to be really exciting, guys. I know it's been a little chilly for you, but this show is going to be really hot, I promise. So it'll warm you up a little bit, and we'll get right into it. All right, guys, in sports hot topics this week, I know I usually talk about football, basketball, but I'm talking about baseball this week because some free agent news really picked up. One of the two kind of mega stars who are on the market or who were on the market in this free agency window. One of them, at least, has signed his deal. It's Manny Machado going to the San Diego Padres, and I mean, this deal, guys, 10 years, $300 million with a $20 million signing bonus, and all the money is fully guaranteed. That means if he gets injured a second year, maybe even this first year, and he's out for an extended period of time, it doesn't matter. He's still getting full $300 million over this 10-year period. He does have an opt-out clause after the fifth year, and he does have a 6-team no-trade list, which means the Padres cannot deal his contract to those 6 teams on that list. It was a short list created by Machado himself. So, I mean, yeah, San Diego obviously has been not the greatest perennial powerhouse in the last decade or two. So, really, I think it's a good thing for baseball that a smaller market size San Diego's not a small market, but for baseball, but just in terms of a team who hasn't had much success, signs kind of one of these megastar players and maybe can turn that franchise around. Granted, I mean, Machado will be playing in a pitcher's park, Petco Park, widely considered more of a pitcher's park, harder for players to hit the ball deep. But at the same time, I mean, the Western Metal Company it's for a right-hander, I mean, who has a tendency to pull, it might work out well for him. And the Western Metal Supply Company will probably get hit quite a bit in Machado's 10-year tenure with the Padres. So definitely, I mean, some huge news. Bryce Harper, at the time we're recording this, still has not signed with a franchise. I mean, there's been rumors Philadelphia has come with a 10-year, $330 million offer, but Harper wanted to wait and see if the Padres could match that. So San Diego really getting a lot of time in the spotlight throughout this MLB free agent period. Going to be really interesting to see what happens in the rest of before I guess I should say the start of the MLB season. All right, guys, don't go away because the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 will be right back after this. Don't go away, guys. It's going to be a really exciting interview. Don't miss out.
If you're losing your hair or notice that it's getting thinner, listen closely. You can do something about it without messy lotions or drugs. Now you can get clinically proven hair growth results at home with the Hair Max Laser. Hair Max delivers nourishing laser light energy to stimulate hair growth right at the roots. It's FDA cleared, recommended by doctors, and best of all, it has an amazing 93% success rate in clinical studies in both men and women, so you can be sure it works. Use it just 3 times a week and experience new hair growth, increased density, and healthier, fuller, more attractive hair in just weeks with a 5-month money-back guarantee. Now, for a limited time, save 15% on your HairMax order at hairmax.com. Type in code RADIO at checkout or call 1-800-9REGROW. That's hairmax.com, code RADIO, or 1-800-9REGROW. Experience real hair growth and save 15% with HairMax.
Hey there, welcome back to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060. I'm Mason Kern, and on the line with us now is none other than Diamond Dallas Page, a professional wrestling legend turned yoga guru. A star collegiate basketball player, DDP entered the nightclub business in the 1970s, becoming one of South Florida's top club owners and promoters. He began training to become an in-ring performer at the age of 35, making him the oldest rookie in pro wrestling history. DDP captivated audiences around the world with matches alongside greats like Hulk Hogan, Goldberg, Ric Flair, Randy Macho Man Savage, and the NWO before being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017. These days, he'll be starring in the upcoming Adi Shankar series Gods and Secrets, and is also currently a guest star on Mario Van Peebles' new show on Sci-Fi called Superstition. DDP is also the creator of DDP Yoga, which is a revolutionary approach to fitness that combines the best of yoga positions, sports rehab therapy, old school calisthenics, and dynamic resistance to provide a complete workout that requires no running, jumping, or lifting. So DDP is here to tell us more about his DDP Yoga concept and also share some insights from his colorful career. Hey Dallas, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. It's awesome to have you with us.
Hey, good to be on, bro.
Yeah, once again, thanks for coming on. So before we even get really into your wrestling days, I'm really curious to learn more about your move into the fitness industry and more specifically the hybrid yoga method you developed called DDP Yoga. So what exactly is it and how did it come about, really?
Well, you have to remember, I didn't start wrestling until I was 35, as in years old. My career didn't take off till I was 40. That was in 1996. 1997 and 98. I was on top of the world. I probably main evented or semi-main evented on 13 out of 24 pay-per-view matches. And that was everybody from Jay Leno to Hulk Hogan to Karl Malone to, Goldberg, Sting, like you name it. I was on top of the card with them. I was living the dream at a whole different level. Then I blew my back out. What I actually did was ruptured my L4 and L5 so severely it was a career-ending injury. I had 3 spine specialists tell me my career was over, and I had just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal. So I had to be able to wrestle. So I would do anything. And again, you have to understand that I'm the guy who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga the first 42 years of my life. I was that guy. So at that point, I'd try anything. So enter yoga into my world, and I was blown away in the first 3 weeks how much it helped me, but it wasn't giving me everything. And then, like you said earlier, I combined it with rehabilitation techniques, old school calisthenics like push-ups, squats, and crunches, done with a slow burn movement, which really started to get me to understand dynamic resistance, which is the flexing and engaging of muscles as you move from one move to another. And, once I realized that I could jack my heart rate up standing still, I realized that I created a workout that was kick-ass cardio that would dramatically increase my flexibility by breaking up scar tissue, which eliminated pain and strengthening my core at a different level with minimum joint impact. So in less than 3 months, with what today is known as DDP Yoga, I was back in the ring.
Wow.
At 42, those spine specialists told me my career's over. At 43, I was a heavyweight champ of the world. So you can imagine I'm going to keep doing that. And at some point, I wrote a book on the subject called Yoga for Regular Guys. And then I created my first DVD series. And now, I've created my 4th DVD series, but I've also created DDP Yoga Now, which is an app that anyone can find anywhere, whether it's Google Play or iTunes, or the best deal is on ddpyoga.com, and anyone can try for 7 days at no cost.
Wow.
So you try it, you like it, you keep it. You don't, you don't. But we have some of the greatest transformations in fitness history. Now, the app, it not only has over 150 workouts that start, this is something we just created called DDPY Rebuild, because I don't ever call it yoga for many, many reasons. One, that, it's yoga for people who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. So I don't really put it in the yoga spot, but it kind of is. But without any of the yoga-tude that comes with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I get the whole spiritual thing, but it's not what we do. And what I did was starting, I've been branding DDP Yoga DDPY because it's kind of like P90X, except for no one really knows what P90X means. But they'll know what DDPY is, which is Diamond Dallas Page's yoga for people who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. Now, like I said, our app, which is DDP Yoga Now, anywhere, anytime, like people will tell me, man, I love what you're doing. You're changing lives, but I can't get out of bed, so I can't do your workout. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can. I created 3 workouts now that start in bed.
Wow.
And they go from 10 minutes to 12 minutes. Now, what they do is they strengthen your body enough so you can get in a chair. Oh, you can't get out of a chair? I got 8 workouts for you sitting in a chair.
Wow. Every
one of them, though, is getting you ready, strengthening your body to get out of a chair. Then you use the chair for your strength. You use the chair to help you get up and get down. You use the chair for balance.
Okay.
And then before you know it, you might not need the chair. And then we start with beginner, intermediate, advanced, extreme, psycho-extreme workouts. There's over 150 of them on the app, the DDP Yoga Now app. But there's also over 150 recipes that are completely GMO-free, which means no genetically modified food. These are healthy recipes that taste amazing. Because I don't care how healthy something is. If it don't taste good, I ain't eating it.
Yeah.
And I don't expect anybody else to. And the last thing is Motivational Mondays. Every Monday, I'm going to give you an inspirational look at life that'll help you get the hell out of bed and on the mat. And if you need it every day, there's over 150 of them up there. So you could really listen to one every hour for the next week, if you needed to. And again, it's all about filling your brain with I can as opposed to I can't. So it's a mindset. And we have all this tracking from your weight, measurements, your pictures, your pain, blood pressure, blood sugar, A1C. We track it all. And the last thing is we hook it up to a Bluetooth heart monitor.
Wow.
So you can see when you're not in your zone, when you're in your zone, or when you're over your zone. So it tracks everything, how many calories you burn, everything is all on DDP Yoga Now, the app. And like I said, anyone can do it at any level, and you get 7 days free to try it out.
Well, it really seems like you've thought of everything in this entire concept, really, from Motivational Mondays to the chair and getting people motivated and working out and that yoga-tude, like you mentioned, it's kind of yoga without the attitude. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just a different type of concept. I really like that idea. But shifting over to your WWE career now, I mean, we mentioned you started so late, I mean, for most athletes, at least at age 35. So how did an individual achieve kind of professional wrestling legendary status at that age, when many athletes are kind of nearing retirement age at that point?
Well, for starters, I was constantly figuring out ways to hold back the hands of time.
Okay.
DDP Yoga being the forefront, because it's as you get older, where are you at? Like, I'm 62 years old, and you know how to do a push-up, but you've never done a 10-second push-up.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you lower for 10, hold for 10, and push up for 10 seconds.
Wow.
At 62, I did 8 the other day on I just missed 8 actually on a Facebook Live. But I will tell you, in the next month on a Facebook Live, I'll do 10 of them.
There you go.
And it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to. And the bottom line is you got to say it, make yourself accountable, and I know I'm going to do it. So it's called work ethic. It's determination and how you hold back the hands of time. Like you don't really, I was the first player in professional wrestling to ever ice his body, like my knees, my back, my shoulders, which took down inflammation. I was the first guy to ever videotape my matches. Everybody thought I was ridiculous. They thought I was crazy. Now, look at how many matches are taped on YouTube today.
Yeah.
Million?
Yeah.
Again, I was doing it in 1991. Before there was any YouTube or any social media. So I was just trying to learn, and because I knew I started so late, I had a short window of time. I never realized I'd actually wrestle until I was 49 before retiring. And then 2 days before my 60th birthday, 2 years ago at WrestleMania, Vince McMahon asked me to be in the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, because he knew that I could still go at 60.
Wow.
The only other guy I know that's been able to do that is Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really. Well, honestly, I mean, I think that work ethic that you talk about, I mean, that's kind of the main thing here. And really, it's very commendable. I mean, you talk about the Facebook Live, the 10-second push-ups. I've never been able to or even really attempted that before, so our listeners definitely going to have to check in to your Facebook Live when you attempt 10 of those. But now, DDP, can you give me top 3 matches of all time in your opinion for yourself? What are your throughout your time in the WWE, what were your favorite 3 matches that you participated in?
Well, first one would have to be my first match with Randy Savage. Even over my world title match, because that was the match that put me on it put me on the map. Mm-hmm. It put me in the main event. We would have 2 other ones after that. We would be the feud of the year in 1997, edging out Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. I mean, that's how hot our feud was.
Yeah.
And the first time we wrestled, he took a diamond cutter in the middle, and the roof blew off. So that would be number 1. Number 2 would be my world title match, where it was me, Sting, Hulk, and Nature Boy Ric Flair. And during the match, I put Hogan out, and I hit Ric Flair with a diamond cutter in the middle. Mm-hmm. Which puts the world title in my hands with 3 of maybe the most iconic wrestlers ever.
Yeah, really.
You could argue that there are others as iconic, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, just to name a few, The Rock. But these 3 guys, Hulk, Nature Boy, and Sting, are in that same group.
Oh, 100%.
And for me to walk out with the title that night was, it was proof that all the hard work will pay off.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to put the hard work in. And you have to be willing to be able to face adversity at a different level and find inspiration in adversity. The mission statement of DDP Yoga is to empower others to think beyond traditional limits, to find inspiration in adversity and become the most trusted fitness company on the planet. Mm-hmm. I mean, my whole life, I've had the same mission statement, just at different segments. Like for my wrestling career, it was to find inspiration and adversity, and I had a lot. It was to empower myself, to believe in myself at a different level when no one believed in me, and just work harder than anybody. There's a really great story out there right now. Have you ever heard of the Players Tribune?
Of course.
It's amazing, right?
Very.
The very first letter to my younger self was done by Derek Jeter. Mm-hmm. Not that anybody knows who the hell Derek Jeter is.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
But the first guy to do a letter to me, of my younger self, I read Ray Allen's, and I was so blown away by it. And then they called me. I'm the first wrestler to do a letter to my younger self. And they put my letter to my younger self at the top of their list when they are talking to, new players, who've had, illustrious careers. They say, you got to read DDP's letter to his younger self. The 62-year-old, WWE Hall of Famer talking to the 12-year-old kid. It'll make you laugh. It might make you cry. Mm-hmm. But there's one thing I'm absolutely positive of. It will inspire you at a different level. And it was a lot of fun doing that. And it's really laid out, in a letter to my younger self.
Well, yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I've kind of read a bunch of the Players Tribune articles, and I've seen yours as well. Definitely extremely inspiring. And, I mean, in terms of your WWE career, I mean, that is extremely inspiring as well. And now transitioning over to DDP Yoga, I mean, just so inspirational all the way around. So, DDP, thank you so much for your time. It was awesome hearing from a true wrestling legend. Where can listeners go to get more info on you and then DDP Yoga as well?
I always tell people don't even listen to what I have to say about DDP Yoga because it's my company. It's got my name on it. I always say go to, Twitter, @RealDDP, @DDP Yoga, and read what people write. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't, it's kind of like being in an arena and everybody's chanting DDP or Goldberg or Austin or, Rocky, Hogan. When you get people chanting your name at a different level, that means you are really over. You can't make people do that. On online, when people are writing amazing stuff about you and your company, can't make people do that. Like, there was one article that came out, and it was, have you ever heard of the top 10 list?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do top 10s on everything.
Yeah, really.
Well, they did the top 10 best home workouts. P90X was number 3. Now, if it was 5 years ago, they'd be number 1, but it's not. It was like a year ago.
Okay.
So they were number 3. Insanity was number 2, and if it was probably 3 years ago, they would have been number 1, but they weren't. DDP Yoga was number 1. Now, if you go back to comments that people made, there was like 70 comments on P90X. There was like 90 comments on Insanity. There was over 938, not just comments, but paragraphs.
Wow.
Of what DDP Yoga is all about. Like, you can't make people write paragraphs. I mean, one comment of someone might be 3 paragraphs.
Yeah, really.
I mean, you really want to know what DDP Yoga is about? Go to the top 10s DDP Yoga. Read what people write, or you can go to our Facebook, DDP Yoga, and just look at just search DDP Yoga on Facebook and read the different groups that there are. And read what people write. Again, you can't make them do it. Last but not least, go to ddpyoga.com. Right now, we've got all different levels for our app. If you're old school, we still got DVDs that are amazing. Mm-hmm. And we give you the app as well when you do the DVDs for a couple of months to try. Anyone can just, at no money out of pocket, can try our app at 7 days free. And if you don't like it, get off it. If you're not willing to put the work in, don't do it. I tell everybody, if you're willing to put the work in, DDP Yoga works. So that's the way to get it, ddpyoga.com. It's all there, my friend, and it's been your pleasure.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much again, DDP. All right, everyone. Once again, that was Diamond Dallas Page and the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, travel lovers, if you want to up your luggage game, check out EagleCreek.com, an innovative and durable line that's sustainably made with PVC-free materials. One stellar option is the Orf Trunk 36, a big bag crafted for big adventure. It's hard to find upright luggage that puts as much into durable and useful features as this one does. Built with all explorers in mind, the Orf Trunk 36 is lightweight, dependable, and efficient, with wet and dry compartments, multi-point handles, a cargo net for internal compression or outside gear attachment, puncture-resistant lockable zippers, central lock point security, oversized treaded wheels, padded laptop sleeves, and more. This luggage seemingly has it all. It even has a key fob quarter key bottle opener. Plus, there's free shipping on all orders and a no-matter-what lifetime warranty. Shop now at EagleCreek.com. That's EagleCreek.com.
You ready to hoop it up? This is Happenings on the Hardwood.
All right, guys, as always, at the end of the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix, we're pivoting on over to the Hardwood because it's time for Happenings on the Hardwood. Now, I'm going to do a little mix here. I'm going to first start off with college basketball because probably one of the biggest games of the year happened this week in terms of just rivalry status. It was North Carolina against Duke. I mean, so much went into the making of this game. Ticket prices were at an all-time high. I mean, I think it was the second highest selling ticket, second to the Super Bowl in this sports cycle. So, I mean, definitely a lot of fanfare going into this game. Obviously, with Duke, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, top 5 NBA prospects looking ahead to this year. Well, Zion gets hurt in the first 30 seconds of the game. Literally does a move. He's trying to post up. He plants his right or left foot, I think it was, and literally busts out of his shoe. Literally, he came out of his shoe, got twisted up. It was reported that he has a grade 1 knee sprain, which is the best type of sprain, I guess, in this case. So there won't be an extent. He's day-to-day, basically, is what that means. It's not an extended period of time injury. But then Duke gets blown out. I mean, it just shows the impact that Zion can have on a college basketball team and what he potentially will do in the NBA if he is the number 1 overall pick. I mean, obviously, with his injury now, we're going to see if he sits out the rest of the college basketball season. Obviously, Duke kind of a lock for the tournament already, but definitely going to be pretty interesting to see what happens with that development. But at the same time, the NBA was back this week with games starting on Thursday after the All-Star break concluded. And the Lakers, I'm going to spend some time talking about them, took on the Rockets in their first match, down as much as 19 points. And Lakers stormed back to win. I mean, LeBron propelled Team LeBron in the All-Star game to a victory. Does the same thing in the Lakers' first game back from the All-Star break. Comes back from 19 to beat the Rockets. Some late technical fouls and some controversy with Scott Foster, the NBA referee, and the Rockets superstars. Harden fouls out on a charge toward the end of the game. But at the end of the day, Lakers stormed through. They get that win. And down the stretch in these last kind of 25 games, it's going to be really important for the Lakers to win like 75% of them if they want to make a strong playoff push. It helped on Thursday because the Kings, who are ahead of them, lost to the Warriors, granted by a very slim margin. But so the Lakers did gain a little bit of ground there. So the playoff race is in full effect. It's going to be really a close thing to watch. Which teams miss out on the bubble and the cusp of these NBA playoffs.
If you're tired of hair falling flat, check out the npbeautiful.com flat iron by celebrity hairstylist David Babai, known for Kate Hudson's beachy waves. This sleek modern iron is curved, allowing for endless styling options like waves, flips, curls, and ringlets. Innovative rose gold vibrating plates heat up to 400 degrees, shuffling the hair back and forth to minimize tugging, slipping, or pulling. And 10% of net proceeds support pediatric cancer and animal welfare causes. Find it at npbeautiful.com.
Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Anybody wanting to connect with me, the Sports Watchdog, on Twitter can do so at @sportswatchdog, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well at the Sports Watchdog. So until next time, keep your eye on the ball.
The Sports Watchdog.
The Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.